So welcome to another episode of Grade Pending. I'm your host as always, Paulie the Bull, no relation to Gravano. Grade Pending is the show where we watch movies, shows, and things, give our grade on it, give our review on it. We have our own grading system as we do always. Awesome, which is the top of the top, the cream of the crop, the best of the best. We got Dope, which is very good, not perfect, not the bestest, but hey, it's a good show, good piece of entertainment. We got Meh, which basically is all right, or watched it once, not trying to watch it no more. And then we got straight trash. I'm never watching it again. It was hot garbage. Get this out of my face. Why did I spend money on this? However you feel about it. All right. And as we always say, to talk about the show, we have to talk about the show. So there will be spoilers. So if you haven't seen it, don't watch this. Watch that first and then come back. And today we will be talking about the series on Disney Plus, Loki. All right. So we're going to give our individual reviews first. Then we're going to come back, have our group discussion on it. And we will start off with...
What's going on, guys? I would definitely give Loki awesome. Definitely, when I was watching it, I didn't know what was going to go down. I didn't know how it was going to go down. I definitely liked the friendship aspect him and Mobius had. And like I saw it happening. I thought he was going to actually turn good for the most part. I did like when he was in the realm of Goliath and he saw all his other variants, especially President Loki, Classic Loki, Kid Loki. That definitely, it was good with me. And the season finale definitely had me at awe. I trust Marvel. I trust them with how they do things. And honestly, that season finale with Kang, probably the best for me. Like a good, like shock and awe for me. I definitely liked it. And I just can't wait to see everything after. Just how Marvel wants to deal with it and all the aspects of the multiverse. So I can't wait, but I definitely want to give Loki a awesome.
All right. My review of Loki, that shit was trash. Nah, I'm playing. I can't even front like that, guys. That shit was awesome. From start to finish. I think episode 1 might have been one of the best beginnings to a season because it unpacked it a lot in terms of Loki, the character himself, because we've seen him over these years and we've kind of seen him change from, this villain who just goes by this glorious purpose of ruling to a more human aspect when you saw, like we got the moment during Ragnarok where, him and Thor saw their dad, dying and, passing into this entity. And, you start seeing a more softer side of Loki and him changing his purpose that way. And from this, you kind of got to see it again, but in a more of a deeper context because he was still from that 2012 era where, my glorious purpose is to rule, but then he started to see how his life has transpired after that and to see that there's more to life than just Infinity Stones and ruling that way. So when he said, is this the greatest power ever in episode 1, I think, he started to get an idea of maybe I want to rule the TVA since that seems to have more weight than anything else. And I think a lot of the season was just getting Loki to see that there's more to life than just ruling. That season finale with Kang he didn't announce his name as Kang. He went by different names, but he never said what his name was. That is to be announced at a later time, but we all know who Jonathan Majors plays, according to reports before. So we know he is going to be Kang, and that's just a variant of him, a more benevolent version of him. So I'm looking forward to see what comes afterwards in terms of just Marvel shows and Marvel movies. And it was just to me, it was a near perfect show. That's my review of it.
So yeah, I thought it was hot garbage. Damn, Jared, I thought we were on the same page. I'm shocked at the two awesome so far. I want to say it probably gonna end up being a low dope, high man, probably low dope. I just don't believe. I want to believe, like Mulder says, but I just don't believe after the WandaVision switcheroo with the Ralph Boner. I just don't believe they're gonna follow through with the multiverse stuff. You're only as good as your finale, they say, and they introduce potentially Kang, which is massive for the MCU in theory, but Endgame made the most money ever on the planet, and Marvel, I feel like Disney's gonna stick with the playing to the lowest common denominator. They're not gonna let something that important happen on a TV show. Not everybody has Disney Plus. Not everybody's invested in Disney Plus. Not everybody wants Disney Plus. I just don't feel they're gonna have the balls to do it. The fact that they didn't let him call himself Kang when he could have said it, he's like, I've been called the Conqueror. Like he could have said, they literally asked him his name and he could have said it. He didn't. So I feel like again, tickling balls. They're tickling our balls. I don't think they're gonna follow through. The multiverse, the image with all the tears and the timelines. Man, I hope I'm wrong. I hope I can eat this and be wrong, but I just don't think they're gonna follow through. And for them to just on the last episode introduce the true villain and then give us a to be continued, the first Marvel series to do that, I was just like, I don't know, man. I don't know. I love Mobius. I love Miss Minutes. I thought the TVA, the set design, everything was really good. That's why I'm not just gonna completely trash on the show. But I don't know. And it's not. I guess it's not Loki's fault that WandaVision. I feel like they dropped the ball with that. But I don't know. For me, it's gonna be a low dope.
So I'm gonna go with dope. I really thought I was gonna give it an awesome because of the whole magic and mischief and it's Loki and like, to me I am a fan. But just overall, I do feel the cliffhanger that they left us on. I will agree with Otto. I don't think they're gonna branch out or give such a big character. Like to me, it's like I don't want to say they took a risk, but it's one of those things to introduce him. I feel that if they do go with it, this is going to be, I guess, the next biggest like baddie villain for the next segue for Marvel. But overall, I did enjoy it. I did like how they humanized Loki, being a god and him having feelings. And then I know you sent me a couple of memes with Sylvie breaking his heart with the hashtag women. And I was like, listen, don't get me started because just like the other women from other shows, and I'm like, fuck that bitch. She needs to get fucked up for breaking. But overall, I did enjoy the show. And I'm really looking forward to see what they're going to do with it. So if it's going to, I think I personally am waiting for Doctor Strange to see how it's all going to kind of intertwine. But, at this point, it's just waiting. But I did enjoy it overall. So I will definitely give it a dope.
So to me, I feel the Loki series is, out of the three we've gotten so far, I think this is the best one that we've seen. I once again appreciate Marvel 6 episodes, right to the point. Immediately episode 1, we got right to the story, and I feel like each episode ramped up from there. Like I said about Falcon and Winter Soldier, the ending was the final episode was really going to make or break my grade on it. And I feel like the reveal of He Who Remains was huge. I feel like Disney Plus rope-a-doped us with the WandaVision and us teasing Mephisto and thinking it was going to go that way and some of the reveals that we got. And I feel like they used that series to really play around with the viewers and make us think that they're not going to really dive too much into shows. And I feel like this show really did. I feel like the reveal of He Who Remains was huge in itself, even though I feel like we're going to get the real Kang reveal in the movies. I feel like we got this variant of him as the setup, and it's gonna only get crazier from there. So I do feel I did not expect them to go that route. I really thought it was going to be another Loki at the time that was going to do it, and then they were going to come back and touch on the TVA, and then maybe let Kang come take it over, because they already revealed him, so we knew he was coming at some point. But to have him there and to have his character be, revealed in a variant form, who no longer remains, and we're going to get at least another version of him, maybe more different versions of him in the future. I have, at this point, no idea where the MCM, the Marvel Cinematic Multiverse, is going from here. I do believe they are going to touch on that in the upcoming movies. I don't know how much Shang-Chi is going to touch on that, since they got to introduce that character. The Eternals, they may touch on certain things, because their story is kind of like the beginning of things, and He Remains was the end of time, and maybe this might be affected by that. And then with Spidey and Strange and Ant-Man and Wasp coming, and those movies kind of hinting at the multiverse, I feel like this is just the beginning, and I think those movies are going to really be affected by the events of this, and they're going to really expound on it going further. So for this Loki series, I'm giving it awesome. Like I said, I think it was the best one of the three so far, and I believe Marvel's hype train is back in business, and I'm looking forward to everything coming forward. So. Unlike you guys, I do feel this reveal was real. I don't think it was a bonus situation. I think the Ralph Bohner reveal was strictly not yet, guys. I think Feige and them was like, not yet, and then they finally gave us something this time. I think it's real. I do feel, this is going to change things going forward. So, speaking to you, Otto, Michelle, y'all didn't like the reveal. So.
No. I mean, Jonathan,
it's not that I didn't like it. I just feel like he's a very big character to introduce. So, to me, it was a little too quick.
But it's not him. It's a variant.
But
it wasn't
actor.
Right.
So you feel like the big bad
25 minutes.
was too much for a TV show?
Yeah. No, I did. Yeah, absolutely. For think about Thanos. Think about how he was introduced, and how they kept this is too big. Not everybody has Disney Plus. We're fucking dorks. We're about to. But remember,
so for those that don't watch the show,
about the casuals,
they're not going to see that. They're going to get the conqueror or of more villain-like version. This wasn't the big bad.
What we just saw was nothing and a waste of time.
I don't think so. I don't think so. I don't feel like it was a waste.
Introduce somebody at the end and be like, hey,
I feel like this is
supposed to be,
the Matrix. The Matrix 2. The Matrix. What was it? Back in the Matrix. What was the second one called?
There's no Matrix 2.
Okay, well,
this one film, and
well, that other movie that followed it, and it had that scene with the architect and all that. Yes. I think this was that scene done way better. I think it was a better expositional scene,
because he's a better actor. He was animated. He showed I agree with that, but that would have been good for episode 5, not for episode 6, and be like, hey, I'm the bad guy. Okay, you killed me. You'll wait.
But he's not bad. He's not the bad guy. He is the antagonist of this story, and then there is more. But at the end of the day, it was about Loki and him dealing with himself and falling for him, loving himself, and trying to love himself, and learning himself, and love is a dagger, and you know what I'm saying. So it wasn't about this Kang guy, but it was the continuing story that will be continued in season 2 and the movies coming forward. So I think as an antagonist, we already knew there was going to be a man behind the curtain, and at the end of the day, we got the man behind the curtain, the reason, but then we also got the story of the Loki that we know, variant L911, whatever he was, dealing with Sylvie, and her not going through what he went through, so she wasn't affected by this story like he was. Him seeing himself die, his mom died, dad died, and she didn't really know her mom, dad, brother, none of them, because she was a child when they snatched her up. So for him, It was a journey that he went through, and him learning himself, learning his power is much stronger than just his daggers, and his power can be so much greater. Meeting classic Loki and seeing that he made a whole Asgard mirage, and this Sylvie Loki knows how to read people's minds and things, and so he's like, I could do some of that stuff, and he's gonna now, from what we thought this would be some closure for Loki. Now this Loki variant now could potentially go on and do some greater things, going forward as well. He might pop up in future movies. Kang is definitely going to be there, but that's what I'm saying. So for focusing on the title of the show and the star of the show, he's not done. That's the biggest thing to me.
Correct. So how can you say that this is the best show so far if it's to be continued? It's not done yet.
Season 1 had closure. I have closure in this season.
Where's the jet ski?
We know who's behind the curtain.
There's no closure.
The man behind the curtain.
I'm gonna have to agree with Otto. Like, I didn't think, to me, it was one of those things. Like, I didn't like the cliffhanger. I feel like if I could put more things together and be like, okay, I'm okay with this ending, but I wasn't okay with the ending.
So what would have been a better ending for you guys?
Right, that's the question.
I don't write for Marvel. The fuck?
So what would you have been satisfied with?
I wouldn't have introduced. Well, the director of the show wanted to do the Miss Minutes fight. Why is Loki fighting Loki? Why is Loki fighting female Loki? Why is he going, you're gonna trust him? She just pruned herself. Of course she trusts him. Now you're gonna just for no reason just to make them fight so we have something to see.
She's a woman. She has emotions and feelings that can't be. It means, like I told you, like you said, I sent you memes, and so I can put it out there. You already outed me. Yes, I said it. She's a woman, and her emotions overpowered the situation. I have a sister too, and my sister agreed with me because when I was watching it with my sister, she said the same thing. Yep, her emotions overpowered her logic. And that's why we got what we got.
Like the variant of He Who Remains literally said, "Grow up."
Told her, "Grow up."
And Loki said, "This is bigger than you and me and our personal feelings." And she still was like, "Fuck that! I want my revenge." That was all on her.
Exactly. That was the only thing driving her for so many years. Like she wasn't gonna stop. She killed 3 robots.
Sylvie the big bad
wasn't satisfied and wanted more revenge.
So was Sylvie the big bad?
They didn't need a big bad. There was no big bad.
So who was the
every Disney Plus series had no big bad.
Right.
None of them had a big bad. There's no big bad. It's about the person. Wanda was doing her own thing. Wanda was the bad. Wanda was bad. She was the one torturing people. So Loki was bad. So Loki is bad too then.
Wanda was bad.
Wanda is emotionally hurt. It has a
emotion. Exactly. Emotion. If anything, we'll say Sylvie, which is Loki. He's the name of the show. He was dealing with himself, but a female version, and emotions.
And what was the outcome? He ended up in the same place doing nothing.
Because
he's still stuck wearing a button down. He's still stuck wearing a little tie. What's he doing?
We'll find out in the next season.
We'll find out, but that's why it wasn't conclusive.
When is the next season?
Why did they wait till the last day to announce, oh, hey, season 2 is about to drop. There's going to be a season 2. When all the other shows, it was one and done.
Because I think it was supposed to be like 12 episodes.
It was unexpected, though.
I think that's what I think. What you're
saying, I think it was unexpected. I think like I said, I feel like they rope-a-doped us with the first 2 shows because they did with this show what we thought they wouldn't do because of the last 2 shows, and this time they revealed something big that affects more things ongoing, and they left us with a to be continued, and I don't mind it. I'm fine with the way this ended because I've seen this before with cliffhangers things. I'm looking forward to what's to come. That's what the purpose was. I'm looking forward to, and I'm anticipating. I want to see what's happening next.
It's the reason why you have other shows that's lasted forever, like Supernatural, that got like 4,000 damn seasons. Like there's
15 seasons and shit.
There's always a cliffhanger at the end of the season.
I get that, man, but that's not how they announced this thing. They did it at the last minute, which makes me feel like it was like a last minute, like, hey, shit, or hey, we had more story.
They didn't need to announce it. The surprise was fine. We all like, oh shit, I like that.
Like WandaVision, a lot of people were speculating, all right, like that Mephisto was gonna come out and all this other stuff. So like, I feel like with this one, to me, it was kind of like, yeah, I feel like the rug was kind of pulled under me. But I was like, okay, well, maybe I had my own speculation, but then when they threw that, to me, it was a curveball, and I'm just like, why?
And you struck out. That's on you. But for what they gave us, I'm fine with that. I don't think it was a last minute decision because they announced there was going to be 6 episodes beginning of the year. When I think I sent you, Finney, I sent you the chart that had every series and how many episodes it's going to be. They knew already. This is not a surprise. The fact that it's going to be a season 2 is a little more of a surprise, but some people had already rumored that it was because the way they announced it, they said this was a short series and WandaVision stuff was like a whatever the wording is for like the awards and stuff. One is a drama, another one is a short series. So the short series,
ongoing, one's a limited series. Yeah.
So for those that care, you already knew then it would be ongoing. To me, I didn't care. I liked the oh shit moment at the end. I liked, that all hell's breaking loose. I'm happy with that. I'm satisfied with that.
Follow through with the multiverse?
Absolutely. Absolutely. We already, like I said, we already knew Kang the Conqueror was announced for Ant-Man and Wasp. So we were already thinking like, that's 2023. What are they going to do to build up to that? Oh, shit, he's here. Oh, it's him. Oh. And then, so I like that. I like the unexpectedness because as much as we keep knowing, we know too much. We knew Jonathan Majors was casted. We know Scarlet Witch is going to be in. We know too much. So people are looking forward to. People thought after WandaVision, oh, this is gonna be the multiverse. This is gonna do it. It didn't do it. It didn't do it. They kept saying, oh, this is gonna be it. Nope, it didn't do it. This movie, no, this is gonna. Oh shit, it did it. I like the oh shit moments because when we know too much, it takes the fun out of it. So I like the shock. I like the the unexpectedness. I like the fact that we saw He Who Remains. Mr. Richards, whatever you want to call him.
To his performance though, because I thought he did a great job.
Great job of a recluse, of someone that's been living eons of life by himself and seen things. He definitely had that quirkiness to him, and I thought he portrayed that. Like I thought it was that architect Matrix scene where you got 2 choices. You go through that door, and we can reset this whole thing over again. We can go through that door, and I don't know what's gonna happen. And I thought. And he explained it. He's like they teased it. You think I'm bad?
Yeah, exactly.
Right? My man's in them. Whew. Right.
The only thing that makes me feel good that I'm hoping that you guys are right is the fact that Madam Hydra showed up at the end of Black Widow, which she was introduced in a Disney Plus show. So
right.
So maybe there is, and then we'll see Wanda in Doctor Strange movie, and then. This guy in Ant-Man. I don't think they're gonna wait till Ant-Man, but
yeah, that's what I was saying. I was like, Ant-Man is 2023. We still got 2 years for that. So I was like, but now that we see he's here, we don't know. And because of this whole variant thing, he could pop up in movies before until we see the final, his final form in Ant-Man.
So I know it's early, but I'm just curious for you guys. Do you think he's gonna be the next big guy?
I think so.
The potential is there because if like I was talking to Jared about it earlier, if you remember that clip that Kevin Feige and released about Back to the Theaters, and they showed the dates for all the movies, and at the end they showed a Fantastic Four logo with no release date and stuff. So that could be the finale of this all. That might be the final movie of this phase, which could be a team up, or it could be a team up thing. It could, we don't know. Again, we don't know. But if he becomes that big bad or whatever, either by Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania, or Quantumania might lead into the Fantastic Four movie, or something like that. That could be where this story might wrap up or whatever. Because we right, like I said, right now I have no idea where they're gonna go, and I like that. I don't like, me and Finney talk about it all the time, like, from comic book fans, this is how this goes, and it's like, yeah, but this is the movie universe, and I like not knowing. They might take a title, they might take a name, but it's the iteration built from the previous movies and things going forward, and so I'm definitely
it's different,
right. It's this universe. So
to answer Otto's question, basically is like. Yeah, like, me, Paul, Jack, like all of us, we're all comic book fans. And if you really want to look at it, I'm pretty sure once we saw this phase out, going to a new phase 4, we all was like, who could be the next big bad? It was easy. It was either going to be Kang or Galactus. Like, it wasn't
I
gonna
remember
be
I thought they were going to do the Skrull War, but I guess that's not happening. Because I haven't seen a Skrull
Secret
since.
Invasion, you don't know. You can't. Yeah. I'm not going to say don't rule it out. It just, we all have this expectation with Marvel, but the problem is that we have to make it make sense. At this point, this is we have the Avengers. Now we need to look at it as having the new Avengers, the roster for the new Avengers.
Kids.
Remember
And don't
that
forget though,
team
the
came out.
scrolls might be the big bad on the grounded heroes. You know what I'm saying? Because this sciency high big world magic thing could be dealing with Kang, while you know the Falcon, Winter Soldier, and them might have to deal with the scrolls on the ground. With Fury and them might have to, you know, so the guns, yeah, the guns and shooting guys might have to do one thing. Yeah, they might have to deal with one guy, and then the mystical people got to deal with this person over here. So it could be two lanes or whatever. So
I
They
just
do
hope we
got
get
Secret
God
Invasion's
Doom.
coming out. We just got to see how all this makes sense.
hmm
You know.
True.
For me, for no,
And
for
even
me,
with
'cause-
Armor Wars with Don
Armor
Cena War
Wars.
Machine, like that was originally the comic book involving Tony Stark, not
Mhm.
not a War Machine. And
Mhm.
if they go the route, if I remember how the comic went, the series went, and they do it with War Machine, hey, listen, that'd be great.
hmm
but, you
So,
know,
What you saying, Jared?
Emmy
We gotta
Award
talk about
nominated
I
War
was
Machine.
gonna say, even on the Kang front, even on the Kang front, it's like, we got to see a benevolent version, like a beginning to Kang, explaining his background a little bit. But you're gonna see more of the heavy work in the movies. That's always kind of be like, like how you had Agents of Shield. You always expected something, but they kind of explain things a little bit more on the show. But you got the heavy work on the movie, and that's kind of going to be the same that you see going forward. Like like I could see it being like how you had the Thanos thing. Like after every movie or after some movies, you will see like like a post credit scene of Kang, similar to how you saw post credit scenes of Thanos.
hmm
Building into
Right.
that, building like showing who is this ruler? Like
Right.
you got to see the nice guy version. Now you're gonna see the maniac version, and so
hmm
forth, going forward. But you'll see him like in bits and clips until you get to Ant-Man and the Wasp, and then
hmm
from there you may have another kind of end game situation, or Infinity War situation where Ant-Man doesn't win. And then it
hmm
leads into maybe a Fantastic Four kind of thing where they may have to go against it, because you don't even know if Ant-Man's thing is going to include other heroes similar to like a Civil War, it included multiple heroes, same as Multiverse of Madness. That may include a lot of heroes as well, or villains and so forth. So I like the way that this show went because it opens so many possibilities.
Do
Mhm.
So
you
much
both? Do you
more.
guys both agree with him that this is the best Marvel show so far, though?
Nope.
I said, guys, you're still here. Get out of
Sorry,
here.
Okay, so Otto, where do you have 1, 2, 3? Which one? What order you got them in?
WandaVision, Loki, and Falcon. Winter Soldier.
Michelle, what you got?
Just like Otto, I agree.
All right, Finney, what you got?
Nah, I'm gonna say WandaVision, Falcon, and Winter Soldier, and then Loki.
Jared.
I just love the storyline.
Okay.
I say it's like a 1A, 1B between WandaVision and Loki, but I'll put Loki a little bit ahead of WandaVision, followed by WandaVision. It beats out a little bit, and then Falcon Winter Soldier.
I got it the same. I got Loki as the best one. Falcon. I got Falcon Winter Soldier last, and WandaVision second. I just think, like I said, WandaVision with more episodes started a little slower. Loki to me just started right off the bat and then ramped up every episode to me. And I like every episode I was just watching. Like there was no downtime. I was just right into it. And I think Falcon and Winter Soldier had a good story, and I think it got messed up because of the way they had to redo it and stuff. And I think it's too blatant. So that's definitely the worst one to me. But I mean, we can go back and forth on
Not necessarily saying it's bad. It's just
yeah. No, I'm not saying it's bad. I don't think none of them were bad so far. You know what I'm saying? And we
They were all great shows.
yeah, I think they were all great, and I look forward now after watching Black Widow. I'm actually looking forward to Hawkeye because at first I was like, but now they got me hyped for that one because I'm like, oh, now Yelena's gonna come try to kill him. That adds a little something to that show. So
do we think that they're gonna turn the what if scenarios as possible branches from the multiverse, or is it just gonna be just what if, just like in
I
the
was
comics,
thinking
just
that.
like random
I was
scenarios?
thinking the same thing today, actually.
Yeah.
Because they just started posting different variants of Kang, and then I did see the what if in the process. I'm like, well, that makes sense. But I guess we gotta watch the shows and like I was
We're
thinking
all
the
gonna
same
watch
thing.
them.
Yeah, we watch it either way. The best thing about it is they don't have to tell us if it is a multi, if they are really happening or not. It's just a what if, and it's perfect for that to be the follow up to this. With the we see the timelines branching the spider webbing out, and then they follow it up with the what if show, and it's like, is this really going on? Or is it not? It's like it doesn't even matter. It's what if it is happening. Right. And it's so smart because the show on its own, we were watching it, but now it's like, yo, this is crazy. If this is what's going on, this timeline is happening. This timeline, this is happening. He's the Black Panther. He's the it just makes it,
And you kind of get that semblance of what if kind of transpiring. I mean, even though it might not, but you kind of have that, that the semblance of it transpiring after Sylvia made that decision. She's going to kill, Kang, because Kang didn't foresee what happens after that. Like everything after that threshold was like, I'm accepting my death. I don't have that vision of what's going to happen anymore. So now all these timelines pop up. So now you may really have like the what if of, because this timeline branched out. This could be happening. Like Star-Lord in this timeline is Black Panther. And Ultron in this version maybe. So forth. So it's a great segue into what if.
And it's smart because if obviously we know they're going to win in the end, at some point they're going to win again. The good guys got to win. So when they do straighten the timeline back out, but we still have the what if. We won't get a movie for each alternate, but to do an animated series and have it like that, it's just great marketing for them to just take advantage of. Hey, you see all of those different branches. What if we took a look into that world and what it was, or take, it gives a new meaning to the title. The what if, what I'm saying? It's not just it's not just what if. It's like, yeah, we can touch on a bunch of variations of the universe.
Even for the Spider-Man movies, that they're bringing back all three: Toby, Andrew.
The only confirmation we got is Jamie Foxx and Doc Ock, but. They could be there.
Bringing back the dead villains, but
we might see the Spider-Man.
I hope so.
I think we will.
I want to believe. I just don't.
Because they asked Jonathan Majors, "Are you going to appear in Loki?" He was like, "I have no idea what you're talking about."
Nice.
And then he's on episode 6,
well,
and then
that thing is paycheck.
and they did this, and they did this. Toby and Andrew did the same thing. Hey, you guys gonna be in a new Spider-Man? They like, I didn't get a call about it. I don't. No, you got an email though. Okay, you got a fax or whatever. You know you're in it or not. Don't lie. You know what I'm saying? But matter of fact, there was a picture of Toby and John and Tom Holland together or something like that. I think.
How dare you?
Yes, they were.
I think it was a picture of them. He said, hey, "Look who I ran into." It was on his page, wasn't it? Wasn't it on Tom Holland's page? What did he don't get fired?
I don't believe Tom Holland straight. Shut up. You know what I mean?
I don't know it. I don't care. Whatever he did. Listen, Zendaya came out of his crib.
There's no way.
It's a good look for him.
Borrowing
This whole branching off of this fucking timeline, it better pay off.
I think it will. I think it will.
That was a variant of Zendaya. Don't do that. That was a variant of Zendaya.
Okay.
You think Terrence Howard's mad that this guy?
Absolutely. He's mad. No, he's mad about. He's just mad. Period. You didn't have to finish that. You think Terrence Howard's mad? Yes. Yes. Terrence Howard is mad. Absolutely.
Was it with the original Iron Man? Like he just wasn't feeling them?
No, when the second movie they were flip flopping because in the first movie like Terrence Howard got crazy money and Robert Downey only got a little bit, and then for the second movie Robert Downey Jr. was getting all the money and Terrence Howard's check was cut and he was like, "Come on, man, I brought him here, man." So he left and then Don Cheadle was like, "I'll do it.
I'll take it.
I'm available. Sign me up." By the way, did you guys watch Space Jam?
No.
So nobody watched it?
Nothing like the original. Nothing will ever compete with the original.
But there's a new one that just came out, and the internet's going crazy.
Criticize the new Space Jam because we're not children, apparently.
Yeah, exactly. Screw the internet.